What's up, YouTube? Wanted to do a video today to bring you guys a couple optics that I picked up that you may have never heard of. I really hadn't until maybe a few months ago. It's Swampfox optics, and I was following a thread online on ar15.com with a guy Mike, who's I guess given a lot of input for the design. Used to work for Primary Arms, and I guess he went over to this other company. And according to what I read on there, like this is all just stuff I read, he was saying that they're a scope company in China. You know, these are Chinese-made scopes that they OE for other companies, and then this is the kind of the brainchild of that company, that OE company, building their own. So supposedly it's a little different, that they just don't, you know, produce a scope and then try to market it to, you know, an optic company to put their name on the side. Supposedly these were, you know, designed in-house. He had a lot of input, I guess, on this one here. This is the arrowhead, and I haven't seen a lot online yet with these. I've seen just a couple unboxing videos and whatnot, so I kind of took a gamble on it. I had to buy them. You know, these weren't given to me in any means like that, but they do have a law enforcement and military discount program that if you do fall into those, I think it's active and retired. If you fall into those categories, it's definitely worth you know, submitting your paperwork or whatever. I don't know, I didn't remember on the non-disclosure if you're supposed to say the amount or whatever as far as what the discount is, but it, you know, it's a pretty decent discount. Definitely worth the time to mess with getting signed up. And makes these, I want to say retail on this is about $5 for this is the 1 to 10 arrowhead. I want to say it's $5.29, I believe is what the MSRP is on it. And they also run sales too. If you sign up on their mailer, I guess sometimes they'll run, you know, selling this, selling that, you know, 10, 15% off, whatever. But like I said, definitely subscribe to that or sign up for that LEO military discount if you're eligible. I just got this thing in. I've shot it just a little bit. I zeroed it at 50 yards, being a, you know, low LPVO. It came with scope covers. I don't like running scope covers on LPVOs optics for whatever reason. It's just kind of a personal thing. I just don't like them on there. I do run them on the bigger magnification scopes. This one's 1 to 10. It comes with a throw lever that bolts on nicely to the ring, so you can run it or you can take it off. You don't have to. It's got a nice, smooth, you know, throw on it. It's not overly tight. It's definitely not loose, like it's going to bump out of adjustment or whatever. So it's nice there. The glass is pretty good. I mean, it was on par. I just traded a Vortex PST Gen 2 1 to 6. I traded it for a 2.5 to 10 PST Viper to a guy online. Just because I was putting on an AR10, I want a little more magnification. But as far as compared glass-wise, this is right there with it. I mean, it was kind of hard to tell, you know, between the two. It's right there. That's really an objective thing, though. Glass clarity is really hard. I can look through one and say, man, it's awesome. You know, someone else's eye just don't pick it up right. It's not great, you know. So that's definitely objective. Unfortunately, like I said, these aren't really out there much to be able to look through one yourself. So like I said, I did take the gamble. What really sold me on it was the locking turrets. So this has to be pulled up to adjust. And I'll show you here a close-up here. It's got half MOA adjustments each click. So it's got 40 MOA per turn, per rev. And I want to say there's 120 MOA total. I think after zeroing, I just kind of spun them. It looks like I got about 70, 75 MOA left, which, you know, take 308, even in the 16-inch barrel, should take it out past 1,000. But the spot where I'm shooting, I can get about 700 yards. We shot there a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even think to do video when we got done. We started loading stuff in the truck and go, man, I should have made a video out here. So we're shooting there this week. Hopefully I can bring you some shooting footage of this stuff, you know, kind of stretching it out there and see what it'll do, see if it'll track. That's really the last test, is if it actually tracks and does what it says. But if this car's going by in the back, you might not be able to hear that, but it's got a nice positive click, you know, audio on it and everything. You can feel and hear it. And then, like I said, if you're going to do that adjustment, you just pop it down, lock, and then you don't have to worry about it. So I really like a locking turret if it's not capped. I ran into some problems hunting a couple years ago in Montana where my Leopold had actually spun on my backpack. So I really value a locking turret now. But these are, like I said, locking both elevation and windage. It does have an off between every on, so you got 5 off, 6 off, 7 off, which makes it nice. You don't have to start at 1, spin all the way around to where you want, and spin it all the way back. It's got some night vision settings on there, night vision 1, night vision 2. I don't have a PVS 14, so I can't try that out for you to see if it works for you guys. The reticle I went with, there's 2 reticles. There's a Gorilla BDC, they call it, and it's just got the BDC drop. Knowing I was going to put this on a 308 with my hand loads, I don't load them super hot, so I don't get the muzzle velocity that would really line up with those. So I went with the MOA. So I just got basically MOA reticle out to 30 MOA on the reticle. Second focal plane, so it's only accurate at 10 power, as far as the reticle measuring goes. The eye box is pretty good, especially on 1 power. It's not quite as good as the Strike Eagle, or I'm sorry, the PST Gen 2 1-6. I would say it came into focus just a little farther out. So this is completely focused at 1 power. Starting to get black there. So it's definitely not tight, but it was just a little more forgiving in the Gen 2. But you're talking a little bit more money on that scope, and you're stuck at 6 power. You're 1-6 instead of 1-10. So, but it's definitely not bad. I mean, if you pull it up and get any kind of cheek weld whatsoever, even kind of an odd cheek weld, I mean, all those I'm seeing complete edge-to-edge clarity, with those. So it's not a tight eye box whatsoever. On 10 power, it's going to be tighter, obviously, but it's still not bad. I mean, I'm still seeing the reticle even with that much head movement. When I can come up and see, I'm getting full view there of the reticle. So it's going to be tighter at 10 though, and if you're shooting at 10, you should be more of a stable position or something. That's why you were reaching farther out. Should be a little more stable. So probably if you're going to take a shot at 10, it's going to be a lot different than taking 1 power, where you may just be a quick snapshot or whatever. 10 power, you're probably laying prone, or you got the time or whatever. So not a big deal. It's just kind of nature of the beast. When that exit pupil starts tightening up to get the magnification, it's going to lead to a tighter eye box, but still not crazy tight. I put it in an ADM mount. Like I said, I've shot it at 50 yards or zeroed it at 50. I got maybe 30 rounds through it, and it's worked good so far. But I haven't done any kind of tracking. So when I go out there, we got 700 yards we can shoot. I'm definitely going to want to try it out, see if I can spin it. I've shot that PST 2.5 to 10 out to 700 last time I was out there about 2 weeks ago, and it tracked perfectly. Everything was good. 10 power was plenty to see 2/3 IPSC steel target we're shooting at. So I have kind of high hopes of this. This is pretty cool that you got all the way down to 1. You can shoot all the way out 700 plus yards. It's definitely doable at 10 power. You could shoot 1,000. I mean, that's what most of the issued military scopes were. Back in the day, were fixed 10 or adjustable to 3.5, 10 or whatever they were. But they stopped at 10 power. This on an arrow that I just put together. It's 16-inch ballistic advantage premium barrel on it, so it should shoot pretty good. I haven't got a chance to really develop a hand load for it, but it looked like it shot my hand loads that I have done already pretty decent. So kind of interesting to see what that 16 will do out to 700. And then I had another scope that I bought from them. Oh, this one's kind of heavy here. This is on an 18-inch arrow with a Hansen barrel, so it's a really heavy profile. So this thing weighs got some weight to it. This is the Kentucky Long, and it shares a lot of the same features as the Arrowhead as far as the locking turrets go. You pop it up, they lock, they can't spin in the lock, but it's quarter MOA adjustment, so you only get 15 per rotation. And I want to say this one's the same thing. It's about 100 to 110 MOA of internal adjustment, so I should still have about at least 50 left. That should carry it out there way past 700. Probably closer to 1,000 or more with 308. The glass on this, same thing. It's a good, looks like good glass in it. Not bad at all. This one is first focal plane, so it's kind of nice. It's got the I went with the MOA. Looks like they offer a mil. I always shoot MOA. I've just learned to shoot MOA, and that's what I shoot. I know a lot of guys shoot mils. It looks like they have an option. It's out of stock or whatever, but it looks like it will be available in mils. And it's got kind of a Christmas tree reticle. So you got the breakdown, and then you got the windage, you know, all the way out. Kind of like the Vortex makes it, and I want to say it's like a EBR2 or something like that. It's the one with the windage tree in it. This is what this is. It's illuminated as well, but it does not share the off positions like the arrowhead. So if you want 5, you got to go 5 clicks to 5. You want 8, you go to 8. There's no off position in between, which is kind of a bummer. But realistically, I don't know. Before I started shooting long range, I knew that was something I had to have, was an illuminated reticle. When I got my Night Force, I don't think I've ever turned it on. You know, it's just something that sounds cool. You think you need it, but I've never used it. I've never found a circumstance where I personally need to use it. Some guys might shoot, you know, later in dusk or dawn or whatever, but or even under night vision or something like that. Might work good for you, or night hunting hogs or something. But it is bright. Oh, to touch on the arrowhead too, it is really bright. It's got up to 10, I think, or whatever, and supposedly it's got dual emitters or whatever in it. The entire reticle lights up, minus the drop hashtags. So it's got kind of a donut ring with a nice dot in the center. I kind of wish it was a triangle, but maybe Primary Arms has, you know, rights to that. But it'd be nice to have like a chevron or something tipped, where you get that really fine point of aim on it. But that dot is small enough where you can, you know, get, looks like good groups with it, and big enough where you can see it, you know. So it's kind of a good split. But if I had to make a change, I'd say I'd like to have that chevron in that thing. But daylight bright, I mean, you crank it up, it's pretty bright all the way up. Supposedly it really eats the batteries though at that setting, according to Mike online. So you're gonna pay for it, you know, to get that whole thing lit up. But it's there if you want it, you know. This one's not quite as bright as that, all the way up, but it's lighting up the entire grid. So, you know, that's not getting focused so small in the reticle there as it is in this one that's getting spread all the way out. So anxious to see. For a first focal plane, this is 3 to 18, so it's got a good magnification range, all the way down 3, all the way up to 18. First focal plane, locking turrets, decent glass. I mean, you know, really good glass. Actually, I'm definitely not upset about the glass quality. You know, this one's about the same price as that. I think it's $519, $529, give or take 20 bucks. Like I said, they do have the discount program. If you do qualify for that, definitely look into it. Makes it a phenomenal buy. So, like I said, guys, I'll be stretching this out. Hopefully this week. My buddy's supposed to go with me, so maybe he'll film, and we can get some footage of stretching these out, seeing if they track. That's really the last thing. If they track, they're an awesome buy. I'd highly recommend them if they track. I'll put some time in it before I can really put my stamp and say go out and get one. But from just kind of unboxing, I got this thing zeroed, shot just a little bit. It's great. You know, I really like it. Eye relief's good. You know, I don't know what else to say positive about it. Like I said, negative, if I had to say something, I wish there was an off in between these. But other than that, they should be good to go. Like I said, as long as they track true, it's gonna be a cool scope on there, especially with that magnification 3 to 18. That's cool. You can really reach out there. This is an 18-inch barrel. This thing's pretty accurate. I've shot with hand loads, just kind of doing a really fast gross development on it. I think it's shooting right about 0.85. I think I bested at 0.75 and shot, you know, 0.95, so that's 5-shot groups. So it's hanging under an inch, especially if I do my part, put, you know, 2-stage triggers in all of them and stuff. So they shoot good. So anyways, guys, I just want to bring that to you, give you a little close-up of this one here. They come with the little throw levers. This one that actually slides on, and then you put a set screw. It comes with 2 lengths. This is the shorter. I just want kind of a shorter one, something I can grab a hold of, but not this huge shark fin on it. On this one, I don't think there's really a need to really have a huge one. I'm not going to be throwing from 3 to 18 super fast, all that kind of stuff. It's not like a LPVO where you can, you know, flip from 1 to 10. You want to go fast. But other than that, guys, like I said, this one's the same thing. Nice, good, positive clicks with good audio. There's a little bit of slop in them. And I think, you know, it's kind of inherent of a locking cap. There's a little bit of lash that goes in there. but not a ton. I've seen scopes with worse that weren't locking, you know, so I think, you know, they got to do something with once you pop them out like that to get that locking back and forth. But we'll see what happens, guys. Like I said, hopefully I'll have that video up for you this week, shooting it out farther and getting some tracking on it and see what it does. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.